Leaving the Quiet Room by Joe Zamecki. This book is based on true events, but students' names and some of the other details have been changed to protect privacy. This book is dedicated to my two best teachers, my trainers in atheist activism, in chronological order, Orrin Spike Tyson, former director of the American Atheists General Headquarters in Austin, Texas, and Ellen Johnson, current president of American Atheists since 1995. Without their support and education and help, I wouldn't be an atheist activist today. Most of all, I greatly appreciate their patience with me. In every era of human history, religion has caused more harm and misery to humanity than any other single idea. Madalyn Murray O'Hair. Hands that help are better far than lips that pray. Colonel Robert Greene Ingersoll. I can't pretend a stranger is a long-awaited friend. Rush, from their album Moving Pictures. Whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe stands condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of God's one and only Son, Jesus Christ. John chapter 3, verse 18. In my life, I have had a great deal of experience with Christians and Christianity. I have also had experiences with people of other religions, and I've investigated religions, histories, and places of worship for lots of other religions. Christianity is the only one religion that has ever been forced on me one way or another. I was never asked if I wanted to become a Christian. I don't remember ever becoming one. I just remember having always gone to church, and that's the church I went to, Holy Ghost Catholic Church in Bel Air in the middle of Houston. As soon as I could, I had to go through the sacraments of Catholicism, right up through being confirmed. Religion had always been mandatory for me. There was never an option for me or any of my friends or family members. We were all Christians whether we liked it or not, and it was always obvious that others around me also did not like it. What got me was that so many people in my life had the brains and guts to speak out for their rights, and yet they didn't. Then I reminded myself that I too didn't speak up at the time. 9 years of 2 Catholic private schools, enough to drive any intelligent person to the edge of sanity, and I was one of the millions of people who simply didn't complain. It bothered me to no end, and still does, and I have yet to utter 1/10 the number of words in complaint about it, as I have heard in support of it over the years. I have gone to great lengths to try to catch up in that respect, by speaking out as much as possible, but there is a long way to go. I can only scratch the surface in comparison to the amount of talk that was thrown at me from the pulpit. I used to look up at adults around me from the ground. When I was on my knees for Christianity, I wished I could get up, and I looked at the nuns and priests around me, and there was no mercy, no compassion, no caring at all, only hate and sadism. It behooves me now, and it beckoned me then, to say something about it. Now I can. I have been able to since I announced to the city of Austin that I'm a proud atheist. It was on the very first episode of The Atheist Experience, a live call-in talk show on public access TV in Austin, Texas, atheist-experience.org. In this book, I relate to you some of the juicier experiences I had with religion during my 9 years at 2 private Catholic schools. This is intended in part as an expose on one Catholic school that still operates, though after a great many changes over the years, and it's intended to convey how and why I became a proud atheist. That time in religious schools was the largest reason I changed, but there were others, and I'll discuss those reasons too. It wasn't an overnight change either, and in all fairness I am compelled to write this to explain my conversion to atheism. A lot has been said about us atheists in the media, and we've become used to reading articles that usually say incorrect things about us. We're used to seeing these inaccurate ideas rise up to the highest levels of government, the media, and Hollywood. As a minority in America, atheists are one of the last groups which can easily and safely be lied about, which we read on almost a daily basis. We've got to push the truth out there too, since a lot of this disinformation results from a simple competition. I want you, the reader, to understand the perspective I had as a child and later as a young adult. We atheists wish to never be misunderstood, but there is such a strong effort to make the misunderstanding happen that a debate simply won't suffice. An interview doesn't even begin to touch on important topics. In my case, only a book will do. There are millions of people around the world who wish they could stop praying and get off their knees and stop fearing a voyeur ghost on high. I write this for those people, that they may find this valuable information, but also so that religious evangelists, fundamentalists, and zealots may learn about their victims sooner. Before you read about my time in Catholic schools, I'd like to update you a bit on my adult experiences with religion, since the question, "How did you become an atheist, Joe?" would have to come after, "Hello, I'm Joe. You may know me as..." So here we go. Hello, I'm Joe. You may know me as the Texas State Director for American Atheists, Incorporated, or as an active member of the atheist community of Austin. Well, I hope that's why you know me. I've spent over a decade working for the causes of the atheist movement in America. I've marched in Washington for atheism. I have picketed in 4 states for state-church separation. I have met and worked with some of the movement's top and brightest people. I have helped organize 8 national atheist conventions and dozens of local atheist group events. I have picketed George W. Bush. I have picketed the Promise Keepers. I have picketed Zionists, Knights of Columbus, neo-Nazis, and the Governor of Texas. In 1996, when I began my atheist activism, I vowed to myself that I wouldn't waste a single day in my life's effort, which has turned out to be working to help liberate the victims of religion and empowering the general public to criticize and combat dangerous religions. It sounds like a lofty and poetic concept, I agree, but I also know from experience that every single church in America has at least one non-believer in its congregation, and some have quite a lot of them. Those people need help right now. Churches aren't helping their victims nearly as fast as they're victimizing their own and others, so someone else has to step in and reveal the facts about the scam of religion. I spent 8 years, almost to the day, employed full-time at American Atheists, Incorporated. In that time, I pushed out all of the communication about atheism that I could. I made it my mission to utilize whatever means AA provided me to publicize and promote the lifestyle of rational thinking and living, the lifestyle of atheism. Just receiving my first information about atheism changed my life. I wanted that for others, and I'm proud to say that I got a lot of very positive responses from a lot of people I sent information to. I got to relive the joy I had when I first read AA's material many times, whenever a new member would call or write and tell me about their newfound joy having discovered organized atheism. I first wrote off to AA asking for information about them and atheism back in 1988. They sent me a catalog, membership application, and a sample issue of their magazine. I read every single word and then read it again and again and again and again. Over the years I must have read it 100 times. Every word agreed with what I had felt and said about religion. It was the first time I had ever found any literature that said what I was thinking. It is a very liberating and healthy feeling you get when that happens. Then I put that material down and promptly forgot about it. At the time, religion wasn't making itself a big problem in my life. But slowly, over more years, it came back. I had kept that AA material in my files, and I would later pull it out with great urgency. When Christianity made another appearance in my life, it was a giant reminder of what had happened to me in Catholic school. No, I was never sexually abused. To paraphrase another ex-Catholic, Tony Pasquarello, I didn't see any hanky-panky going on behind the altar. What was going on in front of the altar was corruption enough. No, I'm talking about the wide variety of other forms of child abuse that routinely took place in Catholic schools. I understand that much of that abuse has been phased out over the last few decades, which is good. However, it remains that religion itself is an abuse. It's wrong to lie, but it can also be very harmful to lie. Depending on what you're saying and who you're saying it to, a lie can be devastating and can result in situations that are worse. Lies have sent people to insane asylums, prisons, and an early grave. A casual trip through a major newspaper on just about any given day will show you news about religious people doing insane and harmful things for their religion, the biggest lie in their daily lives.